After the trial of Thomas Cashman and he was sentenced, many people are wondering if the unnamed witness could or has claimed the reward money. Remember, 200,000 was up for grabs for anyone with information leading to the killer's conviction. After the unnamed woman gave evidence, I think a lot of us felt like she was being very disrespectful, not only to the court, but to Olivia's family and Olivia. The facts to remember in her statement are: on day 6 of the trial, when John Cooper asked the unnamed witness in the cross-examination for the defence, he asks, "When the police were interviewing you, did you hold anything back?" She said from the start, yes. For the first couple of interviews, yes. She also says on day 7, she spoke to a woman who she describes as the only person we thought we could trust to go to. Remember, she also said after this, it was Paul Russell who went to the police. A police document was read out by John Cooper, quoting an unnamed police officer. This officer said, "The witness stated to me there was no reward, but then there was a reward for 50k, and then 100k. She said she jokingly asked MP police officers would she be entitled to the money." Remember, she only came forward with the information when the police caught her movements on a Fitbit that was connected to a phone. She also says she did jokingly ask, but not in those exact words. A YouTube user by the name of Gaming Cell asks, is the evidence just hearsay from his woman on the side, who received 200k for his conviction? Is that true? The short answer is probably not, so let's clear it up. Mark Hallis, Crime Stoppers chief executive, said in the Liverpool Echo, "The jailing of Thomas Cashman is a positive outcome to an incredibly sad and tragic case. No one should experience such shocking levels of violence in their home, especially a child with her mother nearby. The response from people of Liverpool to our charity's appeal for anonymous information has been incredibly encouraging, and would like to thank everyone who contacted us, or the police directly, for their contribution. The response from the people of Liverpool to our charity's appeal for anonymous information has been incredibly encouraging, and would like to thank everyone who contacted us, or the police directly, for their contribution. Due to our promise of anonymity, Crime Stoppers cannot comment directly on the details of what we pass on to the police, or whether or not the record reward will be paid out. However, this case shows that we can all play our part in tackling violence and helping making our community safe. It is quite interesting to note that the unnamed witness said that Paul Russell went to the police first. Remember, Paul Russell has also been convicted of assisting an offender. That offender is Thomas Cashman. Another thing to note is she never mentioned that Paul Russell was her boyfriend during any of those statements that were read out to the court, or when she was on the witness stand. This doesn't seem to be a question from the defence nor the prosecution. Also, when someone's claiming a Crime Stoppers reward, there is a process that needs to be followed. So let's take a look at the Crime Stoppers website to see what the process is and if she fits the bill. Taking a look at the Crime Stoppers website, we go to the subsection, How do I claim a reward? It says, due to the payout of a reward requiring action by the relevant law enforcement agency, it can take a minimum of 16 weeks for you to receive your reward. The rewards process requires you to contact us several times. This helps us maintain your anonymity. If you need to claim a reward, you need to phone them. You've got to ask for a reward code and then speak to a call agent. Remember also, these calls are anonymous. It also says, if you make your report online, you must create a Keep in Contact account with us and make a written request for a reward code. You then need to log in 24 hours later to get your reward code. After this, you will be asked to call back 6 weeks later in order to provide enough time for the relevant law enforcement agency to act on your information. You must provide a reward code when you call back and any time thereafter. At this stage, we will ask the relevant law enforcement agency whether there has been a positive result. You'll be asked to call back 8 weeks later. During this time, we are finalising information with the law enforcement agency and determining the appropriate reward value. When you call back for the final time, you'll be asked to name a bank branch to visit in order to pick up your reward and the date when you want to collect it. It's normally around 2 weeks later. On that agreed date, all you need to do is go to the agreed bank branch, quote your code, and you'll be given your reward cash. You will not be asked to sign anything or to provide any proof of your identity. If a suspect has not been charged, you may be told law enforcement inquiries are ongoing and that you should ring back in another 6 to 8 weeks. Whether a reward is payable, given that all law enforcement inquiries have been completed. If you do wish to give any information to Crime Stoppers, you can call them on 0800 555 111. You can also anonymously sign an online form, and you can do that just by going to the website. I'll put a link in the description. So as you can see, there are a lot of steps that you need to take before you can claim the reward money. It's not all common knowledge. You don't just walk into a police station, say you have information, and that information is then entitled you to reward money. Like she said, Paul Russell came forward first. That could have been the break in the case. She only came forward once a Fitbit showed her movements on the night of the 22nd of August. She said she was asleep to the police at first, but they caught her out and they found that she had been moving around, so she had been awake. They also checked her phone records and she had called Paul Russell, so it was quite obvious that she had been caught out. She also said that she spoke to an unnamed woman that she really trusted. This unnamed woman could have come forward and provided that information. The only thing I have to say to that is that woman is amazing. If she has come forward with that information, I hope she does claim £200,000. If the unnamed witness is entitled to £200,000, I think she's going to need it because genuinely she's going to need to be safe now. Whether we like her or not, whether her attitude was disrespectful, I don't think that court case would have proceeded without her information. Thomas Cashman's clothes were found in his sister's house in a pram box. Now, the police didn't know about these clothes until she actually released that information to them. So this was quite a pivotal piece of information. Even though she was quite rude and toxic, she played a pivotal role in sentencing Thomas Cashman. Thomas Cashman won't get out until he's 76 years old. That's a great result. I don't think he'll last that long. I really don't. And if he does last that long, I don't think he'll care. I think he's one of those people that will settle in prison and will live happily in prison. He's with the boys now.